All right, here we go.
Here we go.
All right, we're gonna start with some breathing. All I want you to do here is find a comfortable stance, feet right under the sit bones. Just take a nice deep breath in through your nose, and then blow the air out through pursed lips like you're blowing out a candle. Take a breath in, think of filling up the sides and backs of your rib cage. And that active exhale is gonna engage the abdominals and the pelvic floor. This time as you breathe in, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, just float the arms back down. One more time like that. Inhaling, reaching up. And exhale, hands float down. We're gonna add a little bit of rib cage movement. As you inhale, lift the chest as you lift the arms. Exhale, find a fold right at the bottom of the ribs. Good. Inhaling, lifting the arms, lifting the breastbone. Exhale, finding a fold right underneath the rib cage. This time we're going to add on again. Inhale, lift the arms. With your exhale, nod your chin, roll all the way forward over the legs. Good. Take a deep breath in here. Just stay as you blow the air out. You can shake out the shoulders. You can shake out the head. One more breath in. And with your exhale, unwinding the spine, tail to head. At the top, deep breath in, arms reach up. Exhale, nod the chin, rolling forward. Once you make your way all the way down, you're going to walk your hands out to a plank. You're to hold your plank for a deep breath in. Stay there as you find your active exhale, pelvic floor engaging, deep transverses firing, and then gently set the knees down, press back to a quick shell stretch. Rounding the spine, just releasing the wrists. On your next breath in, come forward to hands and knees. Find a long line in the spine, tailbone reaching back, top of the head reaching forward. We're going to bring it into some scapular movement, shoulder blade movement. On your inhale, retract the scapula, gliding them toward the spine. You get to let the chest kind of sink. Good. Then exhale, find the space between the shoulder blades, opening back up to neutral. One more time like that. Retract, let the shoulder blades glide back. And then exhale, find neutral. It's like you're pushing the floor away from you with the palms. We're going to go the opposite direction, protraction. Think of wrapping the shoulder blades forward, really nice, and then release just to neutral. So it's a really subtle movement in the scapula, wrapping forward as you inhale, keeping the spine lengthened, release to neutral. Press it back to your shell stretch. One more time here, releasing those wrists. On your next breath in, you can roll your spine up. We'll transition to seated. Bringing your legs out in front of you. Plant your feet, bending your knees, and arms are going to reach forward. Yes, rounding the spine over the legs for half roll back. Inhale to prepare. With your exhale, tuck your tailbone, roll halfway back, keeping the whole spine rounded. Inhale, take that shape forward over your legs. Exhale, rolling back, fire up the glutes to keep the tailbone tucked. Inhale, take that shape forward. Exhaling, half roll back, keeping the letter C shape with the spine. Inhale, take that C curve forward. Last one. Exhale, half roll back. Inhale, roll it forward. We're going to add on from here. Roll halfway back here. Stay in that half roll back position. Bring one leg up to tabletop. Bring the other leg up. Now keeping the legs lifted, roll back another inch or two, and then curl back up. Yep, so it's like our half roll back, but with the feet off the mat. You're going to roll back a couple inches, then curl back up. Two more, rolling back and curl it up. One more, rolling back, curling up. Set the feet down, roll all the way down to the mat. Deep breath in. You've got space under the low back. Your hip bones and your pubic bone are on the same plane. With your exhale, you're going to imprint the pelvis, tipping the hip bones closer to the ribs. Inhale, release to neutral. Good. Exhaling, imprint, pressing the low back toward the floor. Inhale, find the space underneath the low back. One more. Exhale to imprint. And inhale to release. Keep the pelvis neutral. Take a little tuck of the chin. As you exhale, fold up at the ribs, finding your ab prep position. You get to stay and breathe in. Exhale to release all the way down to the floor. Inhale, little nod of the chin. Exhale, folding up, ribs gliding toward the pelvis. Deep breath in to hold, that's for endurance. Exhale, release all the way down to the mat. Inhale, little nod of the chin. Exhale, flexing up. Hold for your inhale. There's still space under the low back. Exhale, release all the way down. Inhale, little head nod. Exhale, flexing up. Hold and breathe in. Exhale, release all the way down. One more. Inhale, head nod. Exhale, flexing ribs toward the hips. Hold for your breath in. Exhale, lengthening back. Down, gently hug the knees in toward the chest. Let the hips release, let the spine release. Then you're going to bring your arms out to a T or goalposts. Legs come up to tabletop. Take a breath in to prepare. With your exhale, pull the knees over to the left. Inhale, come right back up to center. Exhale, reach the knees to the right. And inhale back to center, finding a gentle rotation as you exhale to the left. Inhale, right back up to center. Exhaling over to the right. And inhale back to center. One more round. Exhale, rotating to the left. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, rotate to the right. And inhale, back to center. Set the feet down. Bring your heels in line with your sit bones so that the center of each heel is about in line with the center of each seat cheek. And I'm actually going to have you scoot your feet up, a little further forward. Perfect. Take a breath in. With your exhale, you're going to imprint your pelvis, lifting the hips, lift the low back, mid back, upper back, landing in that hip roll position. Hold for your inhale. As you exhale, set down the ribs, set down the waist, the low back, and then the pelvis. Take a breath in your neutral spine. Exhale, imprint to initiate, rolling up, firing abs, glutes, and hamstrings. Hold for your breath in. As you exhale, think of setting down the spine, one vertebra at a time. All the way to neutral. Inhale. As you exhale, fire the obliques, then the glutes, then the hamstrings, peeling the spine up. Imagine the spine like a pearl necklace. On your exhale, you're setting down that necklace, one bead at a time. Let the tailbone rest heavy. Find space under the low back. Last one. On your exhale, imprint, peel your spine up. Hold steady, deep breath in, wide into the ribs. Exhale, rolling down. One vertebra at a time. Finding neutral. And then you're going to turn onto your belly. Prone position, legs stretched long behind you. Hands just outside the shoulders. Your forearms resting on the mat. Let your nose graze the floor. From the get-go here, you want your glutes firing. Feel as though you're pulling the tailbone away from the skull. Fire up the belly. It's as though you're pulling the navel up away from the floor. Inhale to stabilize your shoulder blades. As you exhale, you're going to lift the head, lift the heart. Good. Hold in that low extension as you breathe in. Exhale, lengthen the spine back down to the floor. Inhale, stable scapula. Exhale, lifting the heart. Hold for your breath in here. And exhale to release all the way down to the mat. One more, just like that. Inhale, set the scapula. Exhale, start your lift up. Hold at the top, glutes and abs are still on. Exhale to release down to the mat. Arms reach back by your sides. Let your shoulders round forward. On your inhale, pull the shoulders back and hover the arms. Exhale, lift the head and chest to a long, low dart. Hold for your inhale. As you exhale, you're going to release all the way down, letting the shoulders round forward. Inhale, retract the scapula, your arms hover. Exhale, lifting to that long, low line. You should feel the work in the upper back, but no work in the low back. On your exhale, release all the way down to the mat. Let the shoulders round forward. One more here. Inhale, retract the scapula, hover the arms. Exhale, lengthen through the top of the skull as you lift to that long, low line. Down just a little bit right there. Hold for your inhale. As you exhale, release down to the mat. Hands are going to come under your forehead here. Separate your feet about mat distance apart and turn your toes out, heels in. From there, you'll bend your knees and draw the heels to touch. Yep, the soles of the feet are pressing toward the ceiling. Take a breath in here. As you exhale, you're going to squeeze the heels together. Feel the glutes, the seat cheeks fire up. Inhale, release that squeeze. Exhaling, squeeze the heels, firing up the glutes. Inhale to release. Again, it's subtle movement, but you'll feel that engagement in the glutes as you exhale, squeeze the heels. Inhale to release. One more, exhale, heels, squeeze, and inhale to release. Let the legs relax, bring the hands under the shoulders, press up to hands and knees. Hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you're going to tuck your tailbone around the low back, middle back, upper back. Head comes under lats. Deep breath in, filling up the backs of the ribs. As you exhale, lengthen from the tailbone through the low back, mid back, upper back, finding neutral. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, tuck the tail. Use the glutes and obliques to round the spine into your cat stretch shape. Hold here, breathing in. Exhale, tailbone leads. You can think about that pearl necklace again, articulating the spine bead by bead or vertebra by vertebra. Last time, breathe in to prepare. Exhale, curling from tail to head. You're going to hold that curve this time. Deep breath in. And with your exhale, just sink the hips back toward the heels. Flexed through the spine, so you're keeping the cat stretch and just reaching back to find your shell stretch. Hold here, breathing in, and stay as you exhale. All right, when you're ready, you can roll your spine up here. Turn over onto your back. A little more oblique work here. Rolling down onto your spine here, supine home position, arms down by your sides. Take a breath in. With your exhale, imprint the pelvis. You're going to hold that imprint as you bring one leg up to tabletop, other leg comes up to meet it. Zip inner thighs together. You could always choose to keep the knees here in your tabletop position or come back to this place if your 100 causes any tension in the low back. On your exhale, nod your chin, flex up, lifting the head and shoulders, arms hover by your sides. Again, knees could stay bent or stretch all the way out on the diagonal. You're going to pump your arms down as you inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 10. Inhale through your nose, 4, 5, blow out through purse lips for 20. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 30. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, folding up at that ribcage, 40. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, belly button pulling toward the spine, 50. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those pulses come from lats and triceps, 60. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 70. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fold a little higher up, 80. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 90. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. And exhale, you have made it to 100. Slowly bend the knees, set head and shoulders down, let the feet find the mat. And then just let the knees rock a little side to side to release the spine and release the hips. All right. Whew. Feeling it? Yes. All right, from here you get to turn onto one side. We're going to start with the knees bent and the heels in line with the sit bones. Yep, and then you just get to lie all the way down. You can support the head with the bottom arm. Top arm can be a little kickstand right in front of you. We're going to do some hip stabilizing work here. You want to keep the hips stacked so that top hip, it's going to have a tendency to roll back. You're going to use the obliques to maintain stability. Feet stay together, hips stay stacked. As you exhale, lift the top knee up. Inhale to release the knee back down. Fabulous. Exhaling, lifting the knee. And inhale to release. Exhale, lifting up. Inhale, floating the knee back down. We're working the hip in external rotation. So we're really working the muscles kind of at the side of your back pocket area if you were wearing jeans. And maybe you are at home. Maybe you're doing your clamshells and jeans today. All right. Exhale, lift the knee. And inhale, lower down. I know if I follow along at home, I'll probably be in pajamas. But jeans would work too.
Yep.
Maybe. Exhale, lift the knee. Inhale, lower down. We'll do 2 more just like that. Exhale, knee lifts. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower down. Now, the knees are going to stay together. You're still going to keep the hips stacked, but you're going to wrap the thigh bone inward to lift that top foot up. Yep, inhale to release back down. Exhale, lifting the foot. Inhale, lower down. We're working the opposing muscle group here. So now we're working medial or internal rotation at the hip. We don't use these nearly as often throughout our day, so they don't tend to burn quite as much. That's okay. It's still worth the movement, even if you're not getting a burn here. And if you are, that's great too. Good. We'll do about 5 more of these internal rotation exercises. I've had a client say that it looks like the Charleston, so I like to call it the Charleston here. Exhale, heel lift. Inhale, float it down. 2 more. Exhale, lift. Check in and relax the shoulders. 1 more. Good. All right, you're going to keep the knee bent. Now you're going to lift the whole leg up. Good, and then float the whole leg back down. As you lift that whole leg up, try not to let the foot go higher than the knee or the knee go higher than the foot. Good, float it back down. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Exhale, leg lifts, inhale, lower down. Just 1 more like this. Lower back down. This time you're going to lift the leg up, stretch it out long, and then bend the knee back in, and you get to drive the knee in towards your nose. So you're actually going to pull it in front of you, yes. And then stretch it out long again. Fabulous. Pull the leg in. As you stretch, really fire the glutes. Try to pull it back a little bit, yep. Pull the knee in and stretch it out long. 2 more. Pulling in, keeping the bottom side of the waist active for support. Last one like that. Stretch the leg out long, hold it there. You're going to lift the leg another 2 inches and then float it back down to hover. Good. Lift a couple of inches and float it back down. only lifting as high as you can keep the pelvis stable and the leg parallel. Good, 2 more just like that. Lift up and float it down. 1 more, lift up, float back down. Should feel a burn by now. You get 1 more set here. You're gonna pull the knee in towards you and then stretch it out long. Now lift up a couple of inches and pull back down. So it's a combo of the last 2 movements. Drive the knee toward the nose, stretch the leg out long. Lift the leg up, float it back down. Drive the knee in, stretch it out long. Lift the leg up, float it back down. Drive the knee in, stretch it out long. Lift the leg up, float it back down. Last time, pull it in, stretch it out, lift up, float down, and rest. Go ahead and turn onto your back. Take a figure 4 stretch. So the leg that was the top leg is going to cross over the opposite knee. Then you can hug those knees in, stretching out the hip that was doing all of that work. Take about 2 more breaths here. And then you'll turn to the other side. Same setup, knees are bent, heels are in line with the sit bones. If you were lying against a wall, your heels would touch the wall, your sacrum would touch the wall, your shoulders and your skull would touch the wall. Bottom side of the waist is active, so you're getting those obliques going. Make sure that the ribs stay gently knit down and in. On your exhale, lift the top knee up. Oh, so knee first, there it is, and then lower back down. You've got it. Exhale, knee lifts. Inhale, lower down. Exhale to lift, and inhale to lower. Exhale, lift up, and float the leg down. Working that outside of the back pocket area into your deep 6 lateral rotators. Exhale, knee lifts, and inhale to lower. Lifting the knee up and float it back down, keeping those hips stacked. Careful not to let that top hip rock back. 2 more. Exhale, knee lifts, and inhale to lower. Exhale, knee lifts, and inhale, lower down. Now your knees stay together. It's our Charleston. You're gonna lift the top foot up and float it back down. Working internal rotation at the hip joint. Again, this one probably won't burn as much, but that's okay. It's still worth the movement. We're working into our gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, and I promise I won't quiz you on that. All right? Exhale, heel lift, and inhale to lower. Rotating the thigh bone inward at the hip socket. Release it back down for 3. Inhale, release. Rotate in for 2. Lower back down. 1 more. Wrapping the thigh bone in and release it back down. Now the whole leg floats up and then bring it back down. Exhale, lift the leg. And inhale to lower, trying to keep the knee and the heel on the same plane. Yep, so you're maintaining parallel with the leg and working pure abduction at the hip. Nice. Inhale to lower. Exhale, leg lifts. Inhale, float it down. 1 more like this. And float it back down. Now you lift up and hold. Stretch the leg out long. And then pull it in, knee toward the nose. Stretching out, pull in, knee toward the nose. Stretch the leg long and drive it back in. 2 more, stretch it out long and drive it back in. As you reach long, you're firing up the glute, drive it back in. This time, when you stretch long, you hold it there. Lift up a couple of inches and float back down. Perfect. Lifting up and floating down. Check in with that bottom side of the waist. Try not to let it droop down into the mat. Stabilizing with the abdominals while that leg moves. 2 more here. Exhale, lift up. and inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift, lower down to the hover. Now our combo, drive the knee toward the nose, stretch the leg out long. Lift it up a couple inches, float it back down. Knee to the nose and stretch it out long. Lift the leg up and float it back down. Pull the knee in and reach it out long. Lift the leg up and float it back down. Knee to the nose, stretching out long. Lift the leg up and float it back down. 2 more. Pull it in and stretch it out long. Lifting up and float it back down. Last time. Pull the leg in, stretch it out long. Lift the leg up, float back down and rest. Take your figure 4 stretch again, crossing that top ankle over the knee, lying on your back, hugging those knees in, and stretching out all of those hip muscles. One more breath here. All right, when you're ready, you're going to release the feet to the mat, stretch the legs out long. Arms are going to reach up overhead. Keep your ribs knit down and in. Think about your glutes here. It's like you're trying to drive the heels into the earth. On your inhale, reach your arms up toward the sky. Exhale, nod your chin. Flex your spine forward. You're going to peel the head off the mat, shoulders off the mat, low back, all the way to rounded forward over the legs. Inhale, start your roll down, keeping that letter C curve of the spine. Exhale to finish the roll down. Inhaling, arms overhead. You're going to reach to the sky. Exhale, nod your chin. If you need to, you could grab the sides of your thighs for a little leverage to help you up and over the legs. Inhale, start the roll back, squeezing the glutes. Think of reaching the sit bones toward the heels. Exhale to finish the journey down. Inhale, arms reach to the sky, nod the chin. Exhale, curling up over the legs. Inhale, start the roll back. Exhaling to finish the roll back. Last one. Inhale, arms reach to the ceiling, head nod. Keep reaching forward as you flex up and over the legs. Inhale, start the roll back, glutes and obliques to control the movement. Exhaling to finish. Arms land overhead. You can pull the arms down by your sides. You can hug the knees in toward the chest. And when you're ready, make your way up to hands and knees. All right, inhale. As you exhale, all you're going to do is tuck your toes, lift your knees, press up to kind of a down dog. So you don't even have to do magical knee lifts today.
Oh, you don't?
I know. Just pull it back, take a stretch, and then you're going to walk the hands back towards the feet. Take a breath in that forward fold, and then glutes to tuck the tailbone, roll your spine up, shoulders down and back at the top. Head lifts last. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, just float the arms back down. And you're done.